Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/Xisuma, playing on the Hermitcraft server. Today, my friends, we're going to get ourselves a lava chicken disc. Because we got the farm. We got the farm. I'm still doing a little bit of off-camera setup here, but I think we're just about done. I'm ready to play. So, I've been building. You know what, let's go up here. I've been building this today. It looks really cool, doesn't it? I just realised how the chickens so fit the vibe of this room. Let's make a thumbnail. It's wild. Also, where they lay their eggs is like... maybe off to the side a little bit, but maybe... no, okay. It's not like directly below them, because I was kind of thinking about like picking up the eggs. But no, we don't need to do that. Like, you know, redstone stuff, hoppers. We got Decana Heaven in the chat with Digital Chaos Billman. Everstaroo throwing some bananas in here. Thank you for letting us know that we are indeed live. Appreciate it. Are we stealing from Tango? Stealing what? Oh, yeah. Oh. That's a good point. Interesting. I kind of... Oh, wait. I locked this off. I kind of left the area after setting up my system to sort. I didn't really think that one through. I could possibly chunk load that whole area, but... let's whiz over there and see what the status is. It's probably not good. All of this sorting should have been done. Unless it's, like, loaded. Oh, maybe it was loaded. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Right, I want to do a couple of routine checks as I'm paranoid about my system having some issues. So, we'll walk around the back. Tango has the disc. I'm just copying Tango, really, aren't I? You know. Oh, I logged in to play Minecraft. Oh, my God. I'm copying so many people right now. Copying them and all their Minecraft logging in playing ways. Oh, so unoriginal. Yeah, no, it looks like it's all good here. It's all good in the hood, homie. JSTP 3000. Croaky Voice Xisuma reporting in. 32 months. Half a stack, Jima. Thank you. Thank you for half a stack. Ah, looks like our golems here might be active. I mean, they've got chests stuck open at the moment. That's strange. I think that's just a glitch. Alright, it looks like the sorting actually worked, so I can take back my ender chest stuff. A little job I've been putting off is, like, stuff down the end here needs sorting. I think I might need to go grab some water. I don't have any water with me, and I just immediately feel like I need to drink some water. Yeah, all these eggs that I brought with me make this difficult. I'm gonna go grab some water, people. I feel like I really need it. Oh dear, I'm going to cough so bad in a second. I won't be long. Okay, I'm now armed with some liquid. I mean, I got a hot cup of tea, you know that, but it's very hot. Maybe ready for a sip? Right, I'm back. Let's do this. Freya! XIX, thank you for 8 months. Appreciate it. What is that, 19? Or 1110? No, it doesn't work that way around, does it? I think it does. What I need to do is put a chest over there. I don't really need these eggs, so I thought about it. And I thought I might need to replenish the chickens, but I actually think if we use this farm correctly, we won't need to. Okay, we'll need to do some, like, terraforming up the top here eventually as well. Although landscaping is the better term, I think. So we'll leave that down here. And then scoot back to our base and pick up our storage. Our portable storage system. And doesn't Decked Out just look incredible over there? If I up the render distance a little bit, it won't pop into existence when I fly. But it's kind of cool the way it does that. Alright, we got some more noises rolling in. We got Wolf Watchman here for 4 months. You hope things are okay, especially with all these hailstorms and chances of tornadoes here in Texas. If you're in Texas, yeah, that's crazy, crazy weather. Hope you stay safe. Very different weather over here. Very nice, sunny day today. Almost felt a little bit like, well, it's turning spring here in the UK. It almost felt like a little glimpse of summer today, even. Mercury Venus, thank you for using the old Amazon Prime subscription on me. Much appreciated, my dude. Welcome aboard. Thank you for subscribing. We also got Callie1357 here for 85 months. Thank you so much, people. As always, thank you so much. So, why are we listening to Frank Klepacki today? Well, played a bit of guitar before I went to stream. And what I do lately with guitar is just, like, try and find where my heart goes to, you know? Like, where you're going to get that enthusiasm, that oomph. That passion, because it shifts around. If you play the same stuff day in day out, it'll fade a bit. So I picked up, did a little singing, and then on the playlist I saw, oh, the Hell March songs. So I thought, why don't we give that a go again? And I haven't played them in a long time, and I kind of just relearned them very quickly. And I seem to recall like struggling with a lot of it last time I played. This time though. Dang, I like blazed for it. Had a great time playing those songs. Played both of them. It's really interesting comparing number 1 and number 2 because they're sort of built off of the same ideas. Freya says, XIX Slipknot. The song XIX is a tribute to Paul Gray. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Representing the band's 19th year and a new beginning follow his death. So it is 19, yeah. Yeah, I remember that track. Was that on the We Are Not Your Kind? Was that the song or the name of the album? Like, for me, Slipknot post 2008 kind of dropped off my interest in their newer stuff, but that year and everything before it, I was really big on them. Cherry Pie 84 here for 30 months. La 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 lava chicken. Lava chicken. All right, peeps, you ready for this? That's right, I'm sipping on my tea. Oh, it tastes watery. If we do that... Huh! Wait, what dropped... Oh. I thought I saw a chicken jockey spawn immediately. That's kind of loud. Wait, I'm going to turn that down with my mixer, which apparently changed it on the VOD now. And you're still alive because of armor. And then we wait for the second round of spawns, right? For you, Slipknot is one of those evergreen bands. Yeah, I don't know what saying evergreen is an interesting term for music, I think. But I feel like immediately I would say I'm probably in the same category, personally. Anyway, right, so the plan is here that we want to decorate this area that we're currently standing in a little bit. I'll tell you what, if I do that and start another one, I'll be able to use the replay to capture the moment while we're working around the outside here. So at some point, we should get a baby spawn near the chicken. Do you know, I'm noticing something. I used a slightly different layout for the chickens, and I think the mobs are actually spawning in different positions. I would have thought it would have been random. Look, they... no. Oh, I don't know. It was almost like They spawned in the middle there, here, there, and there a moment ago. Change that zoom up a touch. I don't know. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But anyway, now we play the waiting game. So while we wait, we build. Man, I'm gonna have to turn down the game sound and turn up my own music here. Love me some Frank Lepaki. Right, now we can focus and get to it. So yeah, it's funny. I was really in a groove, and I thought we'll continue this building stuff later, and now I've kind of forgotten exactly where I was at with this. Something's telling me I should maybe have a look at some pale oak, which I definitely remember gathering. Oh, I gathered a lot earlier in the season, didn't I? Now I've got none. Stripped pale oak on the floor might look okay. Anyway, the idea was to get like a lot of red in there. Wait, we've got one. No, we haven't got one. I thought I saw one. The idea was to get a lot of red in there and then have like white on the outside. You can see it when it's like that. Not so much. So I think we need some more red out here. Maybe some mangrove wood. It's kind of funny that I've had a big old break and now I come back to the project. I'm a little slow on it, you know. Also, I'm not sure if this calcite block is the best as a floor material. I like it as a trim. I'm sure I had another. Yeah, I brought over some quartz. Like, what if we went for quartz around here? Maybe it's a little too clean. Big fan of your project today. By the way, X, looking forward to see what other ideas in the same theme you have throughout the season. Oh, yeah, any feedback on the big piano? Absolutely welcome. Originally, that wasn't going to have the screen attached to it, but I felt like it needed more of a purpose. It was just gonna like sit in that area and just be something you could goof around with if you wanted to. But then I had to engineer that thing into an input for other stuff. Look at this. I think that material is going to fit in that room really well. All right, we're going to go up to 40 stacks. I have taken 40 stacks from Skiz. That's how many diamonds he has deprived himself of. Also, I was expecting some criticism on my redstoning, which I haven't seen yet. And I did half remark on a problem with my redstone setup. But I have this problem where when I talk, I tend to jump through topics very quickly. This is something I've observed in Grian's videos. When Grian explains stuff, I feel like he hits this pace where he sort of hits every beat and gives you time to ingest it. And when I do my own videos, and this is part of being a content creator, like you will end up like comparing what you do to other creators and stuff. And that could be a great way to learn, you know. But I can't seem to slow my brain down to the rhythm that like Grian has, where you just get through each point one by one. So when I was listening back to me talk about this thing, I'm like, oh, I kind of like rushed over it, right? I rushed over the thing I was trying to say. Ah, this is a promising site right here. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Then we can take some bone meal, and then it will just start using the supply. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Might end up with a few. Yep, might end up with some of that. Don't really think there's wriggle room here to change that, really. Actually, I can immediately think of a way too, but I'd have to lower everything here down by one block, and I'm kind of done with this farm. Like, kind of done with it. Yeah. Oh, Aprover, the 2000. So those of you that are aware of the 2000 chunk thing, it's actually just like a bit of a reporting error from the program that reports that information. So, we're good. Oh, you point out Mumbo's good at that and Ethos. Mumbo's very fast-paced, but like linear. I don't know how they do it. Like I'm just constantly, my brain's just constantly like getting ideas and things, and I need to learn to be a little bit more focused with what I'm talking about, right? We should definitely leave that on. Oh my god, we got one! Okay! Okay! Wow! Ladies and gentlemen, what type of sword do I have here? I'm a little worried about the sweeping edge, so I'm going to use the axe. My friends, this is how it's done. I just head up here, and I give you a little love tap. And then I give you another little love tap. And I get a lava, look at that, I get that disc. I get the lava chicken disc. Oh my god. Oh my god, it is as simple as that. Wow. That is so cool. Okay. And we'll get more. We'll get more. I'll put that in there for now. Yeah, that was pretty quick. Right. Thanks everyone for watching. And I'll see you in the next live stream. Thanks for tuning in. Bunch of fools. I knew that wasn't going to take too long at all. Now I can play more guitar. I kid. Okay, bye. Whoopsie, no, stay with me. Give me your attention. Oh, I couldn't live without your attention. Yeah, so I encountered that problem, right? Trying to go over this big redstone problem. But no one really commented on it, right? Now, here's the dealio. I went into my world and I like picked the screen and then I picked the keyboard and I started putting them together. I've already built these systems in the past, you see. And the keyboard was originally designed to work with signal strength as the output. And it wasn't until I was like quite deep into doing all the redstone stuff that I realized that because I was going with signal strength, I was adding in redstone that was actually unnecessary, because in theory I could wire each key directly to the decoder, right? Does that make sense? You don't actually need that intermediary of using signal strength and converting it, you know, into an output. I'm going to go grab my hoe. There was a moment earlier in that video where I had a circuit that would give you the output from the keyboard and then cut it off. That's another circuit from a different system that I had attached to that keyboard. And then, as I'm doing the episode, I realized, oh, I don't need that because the behavior of the input is different here. You're just goofing around listening to the notes. You're not playing some mini game. So, like, this is a common thing with Redstone, though, is that you can sort of build systems to achieve a result and then not realize that, you know, there's other ways of doing it, or it's a little simpler than you think. And so I had that moment where I realized that a lot of the redstone I put together was overcomplicated, like, or unnecessary, but I decided just to keep it because it stressed me out. And I was like, I can't keep doing this to myself. You know, trying to be a perfectionist with content. Just drive yourself mad. So I left it in there, and I honestly expected a lot of comments about it, and I got hardly any. In fact, I haven't actually seen one person point it out. Which was, yeah, definitely not what I expected. People, get yourself a fortune hoe. This is just a great way to keep chopping and not worry about sapling. And not worry about coming back and, like, picking them up either. Autumn says overcomplicating redstone is the whole point. If you choose to overcomplicate, you'll create systems and circuits that do something and function, and you can learn from that. You can become a better redstoner. But then when you want to refine things down so they work in the simplest form, that's like a different art in redstone. Anyway, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to worry about it because the whole thing works just fine, and it's not worth worrying about. But if you wanted to emulate it itself, just remember those keys could have plugged directly into the decoder. There is a little bit of a complication with having that. Okay, no more yet. With having that extra like notation going on. The little thing that cycles. There's that. Anyway, let's go ahead. So like this little bit of space here, I don't really think we need it for anything. I just don't want it to look like super awkward. See, I like that as a wall. I'm just not sure what the floor should be here. I don't think it's going to be quartz. Quartz is a little too polished of a texture. I think the ceiling here... maybe we can use some of this other type of red in this area. Ceiling here is going to be never, though. You did not know Fortune worked on leaves. That's worked on leaves for a long, long time. I mean, my mind just flashed back to like 2013 doing myth busting, so... is that what I want? That's not what I want. Why did I think I wanted a slab? Full block is perfectly fine here. And then we have this. And then we do it again. Definitely works. I'm going to have to work to figure out this middle bit now. I think maybe leaving this as like a border makes sense. Like it's the edge of the room and the middle is full of something different. That's the vibe I'm getting. Maybe just these as planks down here. Kind of works, actually. I don't know, a little too pink. I feel like this has got the right tone. This one's a little too pink. Any thoughts, chat? I mean, you could really lean into the pink with cherry. In terms of the color palette of the disc, we could actually put something grey in here. Like a grey standing area. Alright, polished maybe. I don't know, I've got a feeling we might need to break from the lightness. White concrete powder, bone blocks. These are great suggestions, honestly. The bone blocks might work a little better on the side, actually. Let's see what red looks like on the ceiling, because if it doesn't work on the ceiling, I think then we put it here. Although, as I say it, I like the idea of a little bit of chaotic red. We've got 3 types here. We shuffle them about a bit. Get them all sort of like loose. Not too many like 2s next to each other like that. Just use them a little sparingly. Oh, and then there's a 3, so... Yeah, actually I think then a dark ceiling would just make so much sense, wouldn't it? You got to have a darker ceiling. There's also going to be an entrance behind this thing. So somewhere back here is like the beginning of this room. So we'll open it up a little bit and figure out what size feels about right. We've got a few noises in the ear as well. We've got April over here for 78 months. Thank you so much, my dude. Very much appreciated. Mama Bear 67 here's for 38. And Thrancy, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. I think bone blocks we have to try on the side now that it's been mentioned, yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. I do know that I'm going to change the blocks below to another red material, but we'll see how far we get with it. Pitching says, what normal jobs have you had? Well, not sure if I can talk about the normal jobs because I used to work for an agency. All that stuff's hush-hush, you know. Gotta be careful what I say. Let's go like this. What did we have for dinner? Salad. Earlier in the day I had some coconut bassa stew. with rice and beans. Lovely. Also had ice cream for breakfast, I'm in. Homemade ice cream is fab. Yeah, this is a real nice vibe right here. I don't think it needs to be much bigger than that, though, so... We'll do that, and then we'll formulate some walls around it. So now I think we've got to bust out the blown block. The blown blocks. The blocks that have been blown. It's 5. Yeah, 5. Part of me wants to make it square, you know. Right, so we have some bone blocks for testing. We have plenty of bone meal to get more, as you saw. Bone meal, not an issue for us. We can kind of fill this in a little bit as well. Now we know where we're going. Who here yesterday saw Tango's live stream? Man, I don't know what it is, but sometimes when I cook and exercise, like, it just takes so long to get for everything. I was hoping to be there a little past 7, and oh my god, I was like an hour late. It was ridiculous. I arrived in the wrong time zone. It wasn't a time zone issue. It was, well, that took longer than I thought problem. I'm going to say, I don't think it makes too much of a difference, and therefore I'm probably going to go with this. I just feel it's a little more interesting. You love HHH streams, it's cool. I love that we have movie talk. I love movie talk. I love me some movies, you know. And I started watching Godfather Part 3, and that movie is not on par with the others. Not on par. Yo, how are we doing over here, by the way? Not another one yet, not another one yet, that's okay. So we don't want it to be completely flat like this. I think we're going to use some wall blocks. And then just 1, 2. Yeah, we'll do 2s like that, and then we can have 2 there. Figure out the next bit at some point. Maybe diorite walls. Also, we need like light sources in this part of the base. Currently, we're just getting a bunch of stuff from the ceiling. So, I think I know exactly what material I want to use for the ceiling, and unfortunately, I don't have the dye for it. I'm kind of not in a great position with my dyes. I haven't really farmed anything up yet, you know. How can curling be adopted into Minecraft? Well, you gotta find. I mean, I feel like there might be a way. Like, armor stands can drift across ice, so there's got to be something there. Timus says wasn't great. Sophia Capolia doesn't have her father's gift. If you're referring to the character, for as far in as I am currently, a lot of the acting just doesn't feel like it hits the mark from the characters. And there isn't much of that, like, suspense. I don't know. It's like I'm not really buying into it much, you know? Sometimes it's hard to figure out why that is with a movie. But I'm getting the feeling it's like the performances aren't quite there. Oh, the director, right. Different directors, you know. To me, I'm seeing it as, like, the acting feels off, but, you know, I haven't really considered the directing. Hadn't considered that. Okay, right. We are kind of ready to put a ceiling in. We just don't have the dye for it. Let's go see if we got some. Got another one yet? Nah, not yet. Do wind charges interactive armor stands in useful ways? Yeah, they blow them back, right? You know, the spear does that as well. There's a few things that could push some items across. Hey, you know we went and got that mangrove wood? I never actually experimented with it. I came back and just my mind shifted to some other ideas, and here we are. Dyes. Yeah, I'm severely lacking dyes. There's only a couple of us online. If you become a lawyer, you want that Cocobolo desk. Yeah, what's up with that desk? I wanted to look into that at some point. And be like, what's special about this desk? I mean, if you say you want a Herman Miller, I know what you're talking about. Don't think so. Dang. Well, one half of the equation is lapis. The other half is cactus. Who's got a cactus farm that I can pinch from? I'm sure... Glow ink coming soon. I'm actually pretty good on glow ink. I got a lot when working on my perimeter. Impulse has one. Well, Cub's online right now, so I'll go steal from Cub. It's okay if they're online, especially if they're base and they don't even spot you coming. These are rules of stealing. You know, in the past, I would never take without asking, even if you're like super certain it's just like don't worry about it. It's a cactus farm or whatever, you know. But this season, I'm dedicated to being a bit more cheeky, and I'm sure Cub doesn't mind, of course. But oh! And that's what you get. That's what you get from stealing from hermits. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was brilliant. That was brilliante. Where the cactus at, man? I'm sure Cub's got a cactus farm by now. It's one of those super early, easy to set up farms, and I just hadn't done it yet. Oh no, sorry. There's lime? Yeah, I don't know if that means he's got a farm, you know what I mean? There's a tiny bit in there, so... Maybe there's something in here. Yeah, I don't think Cub's got a cactus farm. Impulse? Okay, we'll try Impulse. See, if I asked Impulse, he wouldn't mind either, but... Yeah, I gotta stop being silly and just take stuff when I need it, you know? Xisuma finally reached chat, says Heart Gamer. Oh, this old joke, this old joke. Go downstairs in Cub's base. Well, I read the other message now. Alright, let's have a look. I like the bees, they're dancing. Orange and green, nice combo. But where do the items go? It's like a bit of an unusual layout here. Huh. I want to avoid using camera. Okay, to the storage. It's all gonna go wrong, I know. Hello? Can I come in?
Initiating decontamination protocol in 3.
Oh god! This is what I get from stealing from hermits! Ah!
Decontamination complete.
Oh, I feel fresh and clean all of a sudden, dang. Okay then. Alright. We're in! We're in, people. Apparently I'm supposed to go to the other side. Okay. Hey! Hey! Take a whole box, they said. Nah. I'll take a couple of stacks. More than enough. And then Impulse will be like, why is there 2 stacks missing out of that one? We'll give him a mystery to solve.
Initiating decontamination.
Forget decam termination, I'm off. I got what I needed. You're proud of me for reading chat, says Heart Gamer. I'm learning. I'm slowly learning. That's what this live streaming is about, is it? Okay. Okay. Dang, gem space looking so cool over here. I gotta do some more building. My like the scale here is great for the gardens down below, but like it's not as big as it seems when you look across there. Now it feels quite small and quaint. Where am I going? Go this way. Assume avoids chat. Yeah, yeah. Ah ha ha ha. Oh, funny joke, man, in chat. Watch out, people. Oh, oh. You might sprain your laughing muscle. Okay, let's do the usual. Now we can put items in the chest. Probably need to grab some more fuel. And then gem and look at tango. Yeah, yeah. And then from gems to tangos. Fair enough. Tangos is like terrain, though. Oh, look at this. We might back up one day. Ambitions. My builds aren't small, those are just giant. Well, things are relative, right? Everything's relative. Why did I grab... I just wasn't thinking. I just grabbed like one stack. Like a dummy. Ugh. Ugh. We'll get something out of this, don't worry. For now, I don't really need a lot, and we got a few bits there, so... We'll get half a stack first. Maybe the true live stream was the chats we ignored along the way. Brilliant. What do you think of Green Spaces? It's just outside of yours. Like, all of his base isn't visible to me, but there's a new part that he's doing is, and the terraforming looks really good so far. Silhouette, thank you so much for 9 months. Now, let's drop a few bits off there. Amchurd, thank you for 43. Much appreciated, my dude. Thanks for the sub, the prime. Evening X, chat, and mods. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm annoyed because my looting villager just got witchified. Ah, you can turn it back though, right? Or does it... Might not keep it... Wait. Doesn't that mean it got hit by lightning? Yeah, maybe you can't turn it back. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, green space. So, like, every time I go out here, it, like, grows a little bit, which is kind of nice. So, like, first there was that bit, and then there's this bit, and then this bit's popped up. But this is like, this feels like it's going to be the new standard because people have learned how to use Axiom and learned how to do shading. And so now I think you're going to see, like I could jump in and do this too. I have been considering it, but I really want to stay away from expanding my plans because I think it's really important for me this season to stick with my music thing and not get like pulled around in different directions. We'll save that for next season. Next season, I think I really want to play without a plan and be as like loose and organic as I can and have as little like laid out in the future as possible because I've always played with just like lists of ideas that I seem to be like chewing through, and I kind of want to switch that on its head and get back to like not having a list and just being very like organic with everything I do, one to the next. I'm hoping something really good will come out of that. Maybe just find like a naturalness that had sort of perhaps disappeared along the way or something. Dude, this music's such a jam. I hope y'all are enjoying it. It's the music of my childhood right here. I might have to change that lamp. I have a feeling that lamp is going to annoy me because it'll put light on the ceiling here. Yo, BB 00000000000000000000000007 coming in with the cheers and biddies. I love watching hermits interact with each other because other spaces, like how you did with impulses. Oh, really? You like seeing people like nip over and grab stuff? That's interesting. Yeah, it's weird. Because I play on here, I just have a different experience of it, right? Like, to me, if I see some hermit go over to some other hermit space, like, that's just like I can do too, because I'm on here, you know? But through your eyes, I can understand how that would be, like, totally different thing. You thought that I broke for a moment. I will never break. I will never break. No, not me. Oh, you meant how I experienced this combination room. Yeah, well, I guess if hermits have got experiences in their base, that's something, isn't it? I thought you meant just like go pop round and give it a visit. Yeah. So other mobs can technically spawn in the dark space. Interesting. If we slap on that. Oh. Wait, did we lose a chicken? Chicken! Where'd it go? Maybe it got like dragged down here. Look, there's a lead. Somehow it ended up down there. Most curious, most curious. Well, let's turn on the light for the time being. Okay, and now our room is, I believe, mostly lit by that lamp, actually. Yeah. Something to keep an eye on. Wait, where am I going? We've already built a trapdoor for this. Oh, we lost one. Oh, we've lost turtle eggs as well. Huh. Huh. Maybe I need to lower that a little bit further. Yeah, we'll go ahead and lower that further. And then as for the floor, like, I could cover it all up with carpet, which would be a bit of a shame. It would be a bit of a shame. Oh, wait, you think the spider fell on it? That's a good point. It might have been the spider. Let's find out what happens now. Oh, wait, you're going to fall down. Come on, buddy. We might have to sacrifice this amazing floor. We'll try that first. We'll put carpet in and see what happens. Red wall, red wall. I mean, we might end up needing a lot of this, so we'll grab all of it. String? Does string block spawns? Does that... Oh, I can't remember. Well, there's kind of a way I can test. I've got some string right here. Redstone does. String doesn't. Redstone will. Let's go see that in action. That's actually a really, really cool solution to use redstone. I could use buttons. Huh. I could use torches. Although that's not quite what we're looking for. Let's ditch the red wall for now. I love the idea of using redstone, actually. So, if I place it there... Yep, that blocks the spawn. So now we just plaster all of this with redstone. And a lot more than that, apparently. A lot more than that. FO joins the game. It's FO! Okay. Guys, I've been watching FO's lab for so many years, you wouldn't believe it. I swear, I've watched every... Oh, Cub does. Wait, is Impulse on? If Impulse was on, I was going to type and accidentally blew up his base. Because I got to be that guy now. I got to be the cheeky guy, right? I said I would be. Yeah, that was seemingly dumb to jump down here. But aha! I have a plan. Don't underestimate X. X has brain smarts in head. I have brain smarties up here. They give me ideas. It's like there we go. It's like a smart thing happening up there in the old noggin. Right, that one won't work for 20 minutes, but hopefully we won't lose the next one. We're going to have no other stuff spawning in here, and we need to replace the turtle eggs. CNC music does put you in a good mood. Yes, it does. It's like happy, safe space music. I don't particularly like that term, but I don't know. It feels comforting. Comforting, I like that. See, I don't have a comfort streamer, but I have comfort music, you know? It's like having Xisuma for breakfast. What's like having Xisuma for breakfast? What did I need to grab? Turtle eggs? Eggs of the turtle. That thing. Whimsical? Is it whimsical? X has a brain, says Coda Corgi? This guy has a brain? What's that about? Do you feel like you're being lied to? Do you ever feel like you're being lied to? Okay, I was late. If you have chickens in there, will zombies spawn on them so you get the discs? I never did actually explain. There's like a very small % chance that a baby zombie spawning near a chicken will like then ride it. Oh look, that looks most unpleasant. And then eventually you go through. Okay. Right, so at the moment, the room vibe is okay-ish. We need to suss out the lighting before we remove it from the top. I think, you know, yellow. Oh, do you know what? I use shroom lights in there, and I love how they look under the tinted glass. It's almost like we could do the same thing again over here, and then get the light from somewhere else. So, like, tinted there, and maybe, like, another light source. Just so we can see it again. In fact, I might run the tinted glass through these bits to the top. Put something different behind it, like the calcite again, or something else. You know, saying calcite almost sounds like saying, I'll have a drink of cow piss, which is a delightfully amazing joke that probably none of you remember or were ever around for. But at one point in these streams, we talked about the delicious drink of cow piss. And I'm actually not joking, you know? I want to have a farm so I can say, you know, on the farm I drink cow piss. And that could be true. I don't even need to own a farm. I could just go to a farm and drink some cow piss, you know? You remember that? Oh my god, I'm glad someone remembers, because man, without context right now, I probably sound like a complete buffoon. Just making the worst joke ever, but it's true. I do like cow piss. Cow piss? Oh, that's disgusting, in it. Oh, NF Chris. Come on, keep it civil. Cow piss, ugh. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about cow piss. Gotta use your ears a little bit more, jeez. Gotta pay attention, my dude. Actually, I might run like a nether brick trim on the inside here. That might look cool. You only shouldn't combine it with your festival bottle stories. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was about people launching piss bottles at each other. Yeah. I thought you were mentioning something else, and I like couldn't quite figure out how it was relevant or if I'd even talked about it. I used to go to festivals with like I used to have these like cargo pants that could hold 4 bottles of water, like 2 in each leg. And so I would go to like shows. I'd go down to the mosh pit armed up with water, and I'd like survive for hours, just chugging water away. And then I don't know what it was. Something changed over the years, and I stopped doing that. But I thought that's what you were talking about. I just immediately remembered the old cargo pants, and I was like, is that even like a story? Is that even something I'd bother talking about? How do you know about that? Oh no, now I know what you're talking about. Those bottles, right. Those bottles. Would like to try some cow piss, says Thockwayne. I have a feeling you might have already tried it. Since you spelt it correctly. It's good stuff, man. I was at a Korean place in London the other day, and I was looking on the menu for it, but they didn't have it. But if I go to a Japanese place again, I'll try and get some because it's really nice. I mean, to be fair, it is basically just a soda drink, but it's a good point, really. Like when something's novel, you kind of like give yourself that excuse of like, oh no, it's fine. But it's still just a soda drink. I mean, the thing with the Japanese is that I like how they use sugar. They use it sparingly. They use it mildly. You're not drinking something that's absolutely loaded full of it and going to give you diabetes. It's quite mild, but very nice, very nice. You missed out on most of the cow piss discussion. Oh, it's disgusting. For anyone who still needs an explanation, CALPIS is a Japanese drink that is like milk soda. So think of like a soda fizzy drink except milk flavored. That's what we're talking about here. I could do the lava again behind there, although, it might end up burning stuff down now that I think about it. That's a good point. Those are like fire resistant woods in here. I didn't even think about that. I'm so used to having fire resistance off and stuff, you know. I didn't even think about it. All right, let's make some more of these. Yes, I should have probably made them in the stone cutter. Yeah, we're definitely going to go in this direction up the top here. Nope, that's not what I'm trying to do. Middle click stop working, or do I just not have any stone? So you got that going on. Maybe a bit more again at some point. Right, so we still need a light source in here. I'm tempted to use glow lichen, although that's a little bit lame. Maybe we can we put a ladder on a light source here? I'm thinking. Could even put a red glass there or something if I wanted to. But if I can put that there, which I can, that goes here. I mean, that's pretty well illuminated now. I think that's the way we'll do it. It might even end up looking like those things are doing the job. Right, what goes behind there? What's the contrast we're looking for? I think it might be stripped mangrove wood. Let's give it a try. I'm sorry, what? Milk soda? Yeah, milk soda. Milk flavored soda. It's crazy. It's really nice. This now feels kind of odd. Like, maybe I kind of don't want... What do I want here? I want something. Like, my mind's eye is trying to suss something out at the moment. Yonic, thank you so much for subscribing with the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Netherrack behind there. I've got a weird feeling that might work, so let's try it. But now as it goes up, it feels like it needs something different in that space. Maybe more redstone lamps would like cap it off. Yeah, this farm makes noise. I put the entrance on this side because I thought, you want to see the zombies coming towards you, but maybe they should have gone the other way because of sound. This is one of those things about designing stuff, is that, like, you can't think of everything when you start, and then you get to the end and you're like, actually, I know it seems like them coming towards you makes sense, but there's also this racket that they make. Maybe they should have gone the other direction. Why can't I find... I never actually took my redstone box out. I took my secondary one. There we go. So I can't help but feel that that might work. Here. There. Don't like the idea of wasting cyan. No thanks. Yeah, I don't think it works at the back block. I think you just need to do this again. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Or the shroom light again, actually. Or the shroom light again. We'll go with shroom light again. Go away with the cursed drinks. My bad, my bad. It is hilarious, though. It's definitely like a dad joke slash crude joke. Like, I like a bit of toilet humor, but, like, has to be done in the right way. Like, that kind of, like, self-aware, silly sort of toilet humor. I think maybe just putting black glass in the middle bits. Actually, I really do like the texture of the netherrack there. It was a good shout. Thank you, random person in chat, for making my Minecraft build slightly better. You've done a great service to humanity. Yeah, we'll go with that, netherrack. Right, so then we need to make some black glass. Dude, this funky synth bass right here, I love it. Oh, we got another one! Whoop whoop! Check it out. Let's go in there and grab that sucker. Disco numero turo. Bear, I'm more than happy to do that tour. I'll get to it at some point. Disc numero turo. My friend, you shall not survive. You can't even move. Oh my god, so easy. So easy. Sweet. I like this farm. This is a cool farm. Right, that block's definitely got to change right there. Also, I'm starting to think this could have been a darker material, but it's got the right vibe. Oh yeah, wait a minute. Oh, that's much better. Now it's a little less stated, so that works. All right. Let's make it a glass. I have a confession to make. I can't remember how the Lava Chicken song goes in the movie. I haven't watched it again. I don't think I will unless kids want to watch it, you know. There's a false raid coming in. Welcome, everyone. Look at what we've created. A crazy farm. False, thanks so much for the raid. To all the peeps tuning in, we're decorating a farm that I've been working on today. It's a different one. It's a fun one. It's a lava chicken farm. That's what it is. It's one of those. We're just kind of like figuring out the very last bits of this now, though. Oh, I need to use my item swapper more. Gosh. I really need to develop that habit. It is ridiculous how slow I am to pick up using my own mod. I say my own mod, you know, the mod I conceptualized. Let's go over here. You know, shout out to TR7, who may or may not be watching. Yeah, this is kind of working. I feel like this last bit here is just designing itself at this point. And then after this, we've got to build a tunnel. Oh, that bit I probably won't do too much of today because I don't know quite how it's all going to fit together. That's a nice room. There's a nice room. I think we just need to put in a little bit more down here. And then make sure we've got some logs on this side. And then I think we're probably good. So yeah, let's get rid of that light there. Make sure we light this up a different way on this side. Alright. So that's kind of that for the entrance for now. And then, as I said, this will lead to the outside. So we can have like a temporary opening, and then at some point, we'll figure this one out. As you'll see, like, the outside area is just here, and the path is just here. So let's grab a shovel and figure it out. When the base tour? Probably when we're done with this room, which will be very soon. One thing this does lack is maybe like a bit of not transparency, like contrast. Like look at the contrast there. You can see the things sitting on top of it, but not so much the ones on the side. I wondered if I should put more chickens in there. Oh, and we need to change that block. We've still got a little bit of a to-do here. I think it's time to sort some stuff away. Because it's a little bit of inventory chaos going on. String wouldn't go... Where am I... Like, saplings I pulled from here. I think I took the saplings from storage back at base, so that explains that. This is an issue with this game. I'm adamant, and I'm going to keep reminding you, but I feel like the player doing what I'm doing right now, just having to be like, oh my god, there's so many blocks in this game. Now I'm just faffing around, like, sorting things away, and sure, that was part of the game's charm a long time ago, and now we've got generations of players that are just sick of doing this, and it's like, this game should be a little bit more streamlined when it comes to time to tidy away your items, you know? It should have ways to make that process nice and friendly for the player, so they don't have to keep banging their head against a wall, you know? Also, by the way, I learned something the other day, yesterday. Don't know too much about it, but introduced to it. I'm sure at some point some of your other Minecraft news creators, whatever you want to call us, update people, will talk about this. But Mojang, probably at the behest of Microsoft, have been forced to change their no AI policy and are now hiring AI people to develop player experiences that are put together by AI, which I think means, you know, content generated in the game by AI. I ain't gonna make a video about this. I have not felt like getting into the drama stuff for a while, because when you put your opinions out there, you enter this sort of battlefield of back and forth, and I kind of want to, like, I think just kind of like get along with everyone. I don't like sort of like reading comments where I've upset people by reporting on this kind of stuff. So I just don't really do it anymore. But hey, in a live stream, I got no problem chatting about it. I'm not so sure that I don't like it so much as it's like you're gonna have to see how this plays out. I think that's true of a lot of things, but I've not actually got my hopes up much at all. The way some of this AI stuff has panned out has not been particularly great, and I don't have high hopes that it's going to be a welcome change for the game. But yeah, AI is being... Oh, what happened there? We were like a little wider than I thought. I see. AI is being pushed into the development space of Minecraft, and that is a Microsoft thing, which should be no surprise to some of you if you follow what's going on in the world of AI, like the business side of it and stuff. I mean, Microsoft is probably not in a great position, and probably very desperate to make this whole AI bet of theirs profitable, and so they're going to try and push it into as many spaces as they can at this point. Kevlar says, did it say in what capacity and if it is additional or by replacing people? I didn't really say anything about replacing people, but like you can read what it's about through the job description. So you read the job description and then you can see how they're using a bit of corporate speak, but like it's not like that sort of like disguising what we're actually saying corporate speak. It's more like they are just saying we're going to use AI, you know? Is that bad that they use AI, says I'm August? Great question. That would very much come down probably to a personal opinion based on a variety of different factors that people seem to have a lot of different opinions about. You know, I was very, early on, I was very keen for AI. I'd followed AI for a very long time. and ChatGPT felt like the beginning of something awesome. But the way it's panned out, it's not been that great, especially with generative AI. Generative AI has been quite disappointing, and I think the way in which they pushed this technology out fast and tried to monetize it and create money with it has just been somewhat of a disaster. It has its positive sides. It's done some good things for scientific research and healthcare, and it's got these more negative sides like generative stuff. And then there's coding, where the opinions seem to be quite split. There's a lot of people that think it's really helpful and productive. There's a lot of people that think it's a nuisance and a nightmare, and opinions are all over the place with this stuff. But keeping an eye to like a lot of it, I kind of come out looking at each thing that happens like individually, and with this one I kind of feel like this probably isn't going to be that great. I don't see much coming of this. Right, we're going to use this block. Oh yes we are. Now I've got to go rewire it, I think. Actually, it looks a little lame when it sticks out like that and it's that texture. We'll go for this. Do a little bit of that. Now it looks a little more tolerable. And we can put those away. Lots of strong opinions in chat. This is what I'm talking about. Like, people come in with these like statements. For example, AI is good copying existing stuff without having to attribute the original author. You know, it depends on which one you're talking about, because AI has so many things. There's many different models. It looks like a lot of the large language models have definitely taken a lot of stuff without permission, right? But like, I just feel like it's such a poor space to chat about this stuff. Just like quick, emotionally charged messages. Where'd the redstone? Oh wait, I put one away. It must have fallen down. I thought it was still up here. Silly. So yeah, I just think this isn't a particularly great space to discuss it. But like, if we keep it on track with like Minecraft, if you go and have a read of the job description they posted, you know, make your own opinion of it, and try and not just to house what's happening into your pre-existing opinion of AI. It just feels, to me, it felt like a very Microsoft down, hey, you got to start using AI. And if you read the wording, it looks like it means in the creation of content that is player facing, i.e. stuff we experience has to now be generated by AI or whatever, right? And I'm not entirely sure how, well, I'm pretty sure how I feel about that. I kind of don't like it. I kind of don't like it. Kind of like art done by humans, I guess. I think it's just taken me a bit of time to realize that, because early on it was all new and exciting, and now that we've had it around for a little while, a lot of that AI stuff has become, what do they call it, AI slop, you know. It's all started to feel a bit like that. I am the Doctor. Thank you so much for your 42 months of support. Very much appreciated, my dude. Thank you so much. By the way, I just realized we've been streaming for over an hour and we've actually only got like 2 record discs, so this thing might need a tweak up the top here. I think what we'll do is put in a few extra spots where the leads can go. So we've got to make a few more blocks and stuff. And at some point I'll have to tear out that beacon there as well. Ow! Taking damage. By the way, I should really finish that, because I wanted to use that, and I just remembered now I've got a massive replay to look through. Yeah, it's taken a minute to save it. There was at least 2 jockeys I ignored. Really? Because if there were, they would still be there, right? So you might be mistaken. Plus, I don't recall seeing anyone in chat like make a big fuss about, oh, there's one there and you missed it. I think you might be mistaken, my dude. Usually they hound me if I miss something. Faychild seems to think that I missed 2 that landed 4 minutes ago. Well, they'll still be there then, wouldn't they? And are they? No. Okay, we've got a new recording going. I mean, there might be. Back. Well, okay. So if they did spawn there, where are they now? Where are they now, people? Solved. Ah! Oh, in a hole. These look like creeper holes here. Yeah, so there'll be, at some point, there'll be some terraforming here to make this look a little bit more respectable. I just kind of wanted to tear out the netherrack for now. And considering... Oh, look at that. Do you know why there's stone blocks there? So you know that's like an intentional bit of building. Alright, my inventory is disgusting again, and I think we can probably just cover this bit over at this point. Including my roof, maybe? Painters can use AI as a brush and coders as a keyboard. I think you're trying to say they can be used as tools. That's a perfectly valid point. This is the thing, right? Like, every time we bring up AI here, you get the, ooh, AI icky crowds come along with the messages. And it's like, I get it, but it doesn't really enhance the conversation about it at all, does it? It doesn't really do much to further. Like, chat is Schrodinger's cat. We live in a liminal space of being wrong and right at the same time. Same with opinions about stuff like this. You get all ends of the spectrum. Vinit, thank you so much for 34 months. Hi, X. You know that remix sign in your episode had a silly idea. What if Music's a little nod to your display name? That is honestly, how has that not crossed my mind? That's brilliant. Yeah. Music's. You know, I got a few written down here. I liked vibes and I like tunes. Tempo was kind of cool. Like, people threw a lot of really good short words my way, which I appreciate. I love the collaborative aspects where we can do little things like that. But that, honestly, that might be the best one right there, you know? Just makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I can pretty much chuck everything in here. I don't think I need to hold on to any of this. I'm just trying to alleviate the pains of the inventory. Big Papa House says AI has its use cases, but most companies are trying to cram AI into every possible product, and it's not always a good fit. Microsoft has now developed a habit of trying to use AI in a lot of spaces where it isn't useful right now. That's I think that's a far more level-headed reply right there. And yeah, and now that extends to Mojang, who have been anti-AI in the past. So it goes to show, oh my god, look, the chicken is gone. I wonder if that has something to do with me, like, unloading the chunk, because there is definitely still issues on that front. What did I end up? I think I ended up using mangrove fences. Oh. Oh. Gosh, I'm having inventory issues now. Right. Did I ever get logs out of here? Okay, so we're going to go back in there and do that again, but I'm low on leads, and leads is like there, and then chickens is eggs, so let's go sort that out. Turn on the lamp. And you can see that. You can see where it's at. Howlin says, I think people need to stop saying we need to ban, get rid of this. Humans won't ever get rid of things. If we want corporations to be sustainable, then we need to give them a financially efficient, sustainable alternative and regulations on the use of these products. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm very much a pragmatist with that kind of stuff, right? I agree. Because there's lots of things that are very imperfect about us humans and us as a society, and I think trying to be idealistic and expecting everyone to fall in line with your ideology is pretty difficult thing to achieve. But one thing I do wonder about that, though, is just like, if you remove the element of people who want to ban, does that dilute the pressure against the thing, you know? It's like, I don't think that's the solution either, but they're pushing back against a force, you know? They're like an opposing force. Is that actually useful? That's about the only thing I could say on that front. If I break the block there, we will trigger the redstone. So let's go do that first. Skiz is online. I wanted to go poke Skiz. We're almost done with this, so we'll go poke Skiz in a little bit. X, if you could be any flavour of ice cream, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Oh my god, dude. Oh, if I could be any flavour of ice cream. Oh god. I'd be candy cane birthday cake with sprinkles on top, because that's just like my personality, man, isn't it? Oh gosh, what a question. Jeez. Oh my god. What ice cream flavour would you be? Oh, entertain me. Entertain me. I think that person knew I was going to answer like that. I had a feeling. He's gone bananas. I'm not banana ice cream. Clearly that's not my personality. I'm birthday cake with sprinkles on top, me. Do you know, I remember, yeah, oh man, this is a really long time ago, and I used to hear this on those kind of like chatty, gossipy shows. I don't know, stuff like Big Brother or whatever, but like, I'd hear this term, bubbly personality, and I always used to think it was an insult, because bubbly just sounds like, what do bubbles do? They pop. They're like froth and pop, and it just to me, like, it sounded like an insult, and I can't picture like bubbly being particularly positive. Like all this stuff about like relating ice cream flavors to your personality or whatever. It's just like, to me, I'm just like, you know what I mean? I don't know what this even is. But people love to do it. I don't get it. That's just on me. But bubbly was one where I used to hear that, and I for so long I thought it was an insult. And like someone would go, oh yeah, she's got such a bubbly personality. And I used to just think like, oh, well, you don't like them then. And like, I'm completely wrong. Completely wrong about it. I have to go back and think, like, how many times did I hear that? I'm talking like 2007, 2008, I swear. That was just like, you know how like vibes is like a word you hear a lot. People talk about the vibes a lot. That's like just become a cultural word. And back then it felt like one of those. You just heard it all the time. Linguistically speaking, the word bubbly is more nice than not. Invites soft associations. Have you ever heard of Kiki and Boba concept? I haven't, but like I get what you mean by soft. Like, you know, if you're like, oh, your personality is so Morningstar, so Mace, you're so Nails, you know, like, oh, that's frightening, isn't it? But yeah, I guess I can see how like foam or bubbly, but dang, I just thought like, I don't know, it sounded like you might be like a chronic flip-flopper or something. Like bubbles are very often impermanent, temporary, and changing and popping. Right, let's go up here. Alright, we have increased the capacity of the farm. I have no idea if this will be a success or not, but hey, we trying. We trying. Do I still have fence posts in there? I have one. Let's replace it with two. Because two's better than one, right? Pearl is pretty bubbly, and that is a very good trait about her. I don't know how to relate the term bubbly to Pearl. Like, that makes no sense to me whatsoever. I can't even like think of a, like, if it's not negative. Like, I can remove the negative association now that I've learned. Oh, it's not negative, but like, this is why I don't like those sorts of questions, because I just can't think of people in terms of like what ice cream flavor you are. You know, like if you said like, oh, who on Hermitcraft is chocolate ice cream? I'd just be like, shut up. No one's chocolate ice cream. And then you'll be like, Xisuma, you are anti-fun. You snatch ice cream from babies. Winnie T Ford, thank you so much for 96 months. Appreciate you, Winnie. Getting close to 100. That's amazing. I'm pretty sure you've been here way longer than 100. But thank you so much for all the months of support. Mumbo. I don't even know. I don't even know. Skiz is chocolate ice cream? Why? I don't get it. I'm going to think on this. I'm going to like search my mind and try and find an overlap. I could probably do it for like music genres maybe. That actually, that's interesting. I feel like I don't have an answer straight away, but something about like what music genre is each person, that almost sounds like a challenge. Like, ooh. Because my brain understands music, but it don't understand ice cream, and it definitely don't understand bubbles. And magnets, oh, how do they work? Goodness me. Let's wrap this. Wait. That's what I'm missing. There we go. Skiz would be bubblegum. Why bubblegum? I don't get this stuff at all. Right, yeah, there's like two things I've got to do here. One of them is make this area safe. But I've kind of... Alright, there you go. I'll use some of that. Right, I'm going to make this area safe. That's that bit figured out. Then I'm going to... Oh, do you know what I never did? I never did this little tunnel here with red blocks. Might come back and do that another time. But hey, enjoy the show and enjoy the music. I'm going to nip to the loo, then we're going to do a base tour, and then we're going to go find Skiz and find out if he's Rocky Road or Chocolate Chip, because I've just got to know. Oh, is that Skizzle Man bubblegum? Is that chocolate? Oh, it keeps me up at night, people. It keeps me up at night time. I can't even. Is he mint chocolate chip? Is he raspberry? What if he's strawberry? He might even be birthday cake flavour. I don't know what flavour he is. Hello people, I'm back. Why do I feel like there's something else I needed to do? If I could relive any year of my life and jump back to which one am I? I'm a very forward-thinking person. You know those questions about, like, if you could go back in time, what would you do different? I'll be like, please don't send me back. I'm happy with where I am now. I wouldn't want to go back and relive any year, honestly. However, I feel like some of these post-pandemic years have been some of the better, definitely. And I've been going on more holidays and more time with family, and reliving some of those holidays and family moments would be fantastic. So it'd probably be a case of like one of the recent years. And I'm looking forward to this year because I got stuff lined up. I made some plans with a friend yesterday. It's going to be awesome, and I want to keep stuff happening throughout the year. You know. Does anyone else get bad anxiety thinking about going back in time? Like, what if it was a butterfly effect thing? I'll get anxious if I let myself. I can think about it in a way where I won't. But if I genuinely woke up and was like 15 again, I would probably just scream. Which is what I was doing when I woke up at 15 anyway. I was like, I hate this. I wouldn't want to go through it all again. Pinocchio boy 28, thank you ever so much for the prime. We got Chapter Corey for 67 months. Much appreciated, people. We've had some prime subscribers today. We haven't had any gifted subs, but if you happen to have one, or any type of subscription you got gets you access to our community, you can join our server for a month. You know, that's an opportunity to check out the people there and see if you fit in and all that kind of stuff. Maybe you're looking for somewhere to play. What we do from time to time is we go do a little base tour to highlight what people are up to on the server. This is Kraken Bubble. We've been here before. It's a castle base. The main base has changed since we last there. There's new stables, there's new horses, paths and terrain, proper storage, and a frozen nether portal. So, we'll come back to Hermitcraft shortly. Right now, though. Oh! Lame! Oh, that's a real pain in the butt, that one. Got to shut it all down. Shut it down. Shut it down. I've been listening to Public Enemy a bit lately, peeps. Absolute classic stuff. Or is it shut them down? I think it's shut them down, not shut it down. Oh my god, the Minecraft launcher has to update. Don't you know I'm trying to stream? Time for that VPN? That wouldn't help in this situation because the session had expired. With the VPN, it's like... This has not happened a lot recently, but like definitely in the past. Man, you would just sometimes you would try and connect to a server, you know, Hermitcraft for me most of the time, and you would just be having issues right now, and it's just something you have to deal with. But you know how it is, like things get better over time, and we learned how to host the server better. Like, it's rarely a problem these days, but when it has been, you know, connect to a VPN and it just gets around some internet issue that's happening out there, because there's all these big like data centers and pipelines for sending traffic around the internet, and sometimes they have issues, like there's like DDoS wars going on, and every now and then you just have an issue and it's like, oh yeah, there's something going on out there. Right, here we are at the Kraken. Oh wait, that's the wrong button. There we go. Oh yeah, I do remember. I'm pretty sure I remember coming here. I remember commenting on the ice spikes as like a cool way to do terrain. Like, depending on what you're going for with your Minecraft base, there's so many tools at your disposal. But you got to use your imagination, and this is like using your imagination rather creatively here. I think these paths are new then, down the bottom. That's tripwire, that's string. That doesn't stop anything from spawning. It stops the snow from settling. And I think we're actually in a snowy biome, so it makes sense while it's there now. Ooh! Isn't that just a fancy chandelier right there? I don't think this floor is structurally sound. I don't build support beams that have a heavy load on them on top of glass. Don't know about you. Ah, lots of pets. Like all the pets, I think. Oh, their names are coloured. How's that done? Oh, wait, you can just format the name tag and then, yeah, that'll pass it on. I think I've done that on Hermitcraft, actually. I'm just not much of a pets guy. I don't think this has actually got much going on here. The ceiling is holding up the floor. Say what? Oh, I get what you mean. I guess it could be that way around, couldn't it? In theory. Let's check out this building over here next. So many pets abandoned. I don't know. I don't know if they're abandoned. They got a home. Oh, zombie horse. They are now legit survival stuff. This is a really nice stable. It's not quite as amazing as an unstable like Joe Hills would make, but yeah, I like it. Very cool. My notes are off the screen. What were the other things we were supposed to check out? There's storage below, bubble elevators at the back of the main base, and there's a proper frozen nether portal. What was that? Something about an admin restart? Please, not now. Where's this nether portal? Did we see that yet? I don't know what these are, but I like them. There's something about like just a circular pad that makes you think it's used for something. It's not that portal. It's a different thing altogether. I'm expecting to see this nether portal outside. Maybe it's on the inside. Alright, so at the back of the base there are bubble columns going up and down. These ones appear to go down. Oh, that one goes up. There you go. Bam. And look at that. Crazy floor. I remember this floor. I like the chandelier again. That is, I think, my favourite thing I've seen is the chandelier. Just the way you can, like, hang glass off of the amethyst. Really cool. And that is one ridiculously cozy looking bed. God, I feel like I want to curl up and fall asleep, you know? Live, love, derp. Oh, for goodness sake. These people, they mock me. They mock me. But at least I'm not birthday cake ice cream. Hey, I'm homemade ice cream. That's what ice cream I am. You know that. Where's the storage system I heard about? I thought that was under the base. Let's go super cheaty mode. Is this it? Is this the storage? Oh, I wish I'd have found this the proper way. What is the proper way to get here? I don't know. Oh, we're just gonna drop in, people. What is this room? What is this palette? Mycelium? Waterlogged. Are they like the... Yeah, that's the catalyst. That's crazy. But doesn't the catalyst... I forget what they all do. Doesn't the catalyst... I think if it gets a sculk sensor thing, it can then start to spread. That's cool, though. That looks so cool. And oh my goodness me. The ceiling. The happy gas. Is that blue candles on top of them? They really like... The blue candles here really pop out the purpleness in the Blackstone. It's like the colours and the lighting are like making Blackstone look a little different there. That's interesting. And what is this unbelievably ridiculous sorting system we're looking at here? Is it like one for every single block? Oh, does it go down there first? That's crazy. This must be just stupid amounts of filters. Yep. Everything individually filtered. That is a slightly over-engineered item elevator, by the way. Although it's pulsing super fast. Is it activated by a piston? Anyway, I imagine it works. It looks like it's potentially like powering... If you have any problems with these, right, you can bud power them when you power them too quickly like that, but I don't know if that's happening there or not, but hey, if it is, now you know. This is mental though. It's your first stream. Jade, welcome. We're doing a LPMT tour. That's our equivalent of a Patreon server, although you can get to it if you're just a Twitch subscriber. Twitch subscribers get a month access. If you get gifted a sub or you got an Amazon Prime, it's a great way just to find out if you'd like to be a part of this community or not, because there's loads of amazing builders on here, right? This is really cool. Let's see what this final bit is. Just another platform. Like, sometimes a platform just says, it's used for something. Fill in the blank, you know, a ritual. Oh yeah, and you can get blocks like this on the server. Like, we make it so that you can do cool stuff and get reinforced deep slate as a reward. Let's wrap it up there. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Kraken. Really love the base. Can't wait to see it again in the future. We'll now go back onto Hermitcraft and see if we can go pester the man who is Skiz and find out what type of ice cream he is. And we don't have another one yet. Boo! We'll come back and do all that later. Later, I tell thee. Proper bow, I tell thee. That one smelt right like Sugar Puff. Right, let's... Straticelli? Can I even say it correctly? Stracciatella. I have a feeling that I may have never said that word remotely correctly before, now that I look at the spelling for more than 1 second. I love that flavour of ice cream. It's not white chocolate. It's like, it's a sort of combination of milk chocolate and dark chocolate, I think. Not overly sweet, but it brings out this milky flavour in it. That's how I'd describe that type of ice cream. I don't think I had that until I went skiing with my dad. And then my dad was like, you got to try this Straticelli ice cream. I'm like, what's that? My goodness me. I wonder if Tango's got more of that build there. I look at that. You know what? It lines up with the terrain. I'm not sure if that's all of it, but that is a beautiful picture. I'm getting a little bit of like a Helm's Deep vibe. It could definitely... This could definitely like have some more buildings behind it, but dang it looks superb. Just like that. Like, Tango had an absolute vision for this place. What an absolute mad lad he is. More up your alley, what model guitar would you be? I still, yeah, maybe. I still find those questions so silly. I don't know. I'm not a guitar. I don't know. I've been thinking about getting another 8-string. I say another, I kind of actually just want to replace, because I brought a really like entry-level 8-string, and I feel like my playing is deserving of something a little better, perhaps. Maybe deserve isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. Like, I can do with a better guitar. I just flew over here. I wasn't even looking at the face meter. So I don't even know if the man is in the area, but it looks like the man is in the area and just behind there. Oh, the music's a little too loud. Oh wait, I've got to turn down. There we go. Otherwise, I would be deafened. Hello! Hi. It might be busy. 44 stacks of BC. I've got no idea. Yeah, I think he's probably busy. Well, he can hear me, I think. You're in a meeting. That's cool. No worries, man. I'll catch you some other time. Don't worry. Don't you worry about it. Right. What was the other thing on my list today, people? We wanted to see Skiz. We did the LPMT tour. And that was it, actually. So let me show you where I'm at next with some stuff we'll probably end up grinding on stream a little bit. What vegetable would you be? Oh my goodness me, I hate these questions. I really do. I don't know. Broccoli. I'm broccoli because I value nutrition. Here's the thing with this space, right? Like, I want this to be like something quite big and bold. and have a vibe. And I think I can achieve that, but what I don't like doing is having to like wing so much of it. I kind of wish that I could just have like the end result in sight and put it together. Now I'm talking specifically about this bit here. With the modular building around the outside here, I never really needed the end goal in sight because of how all these things fit together, which is really quite handy. But now that we've got like the main thing we're going to do over here. Also, would Mu6 work here? Because you need a U and an S, right? U, S. It would actually. No, I think S needs to be 3 wide. Hang on. Oh, there is a gap there, so you could shift it over, have M there. Yeah, Mu6 might fit in really well, actually. And then we'll see if anyone ever figures out, like, what it's cleverly referring to or whatnot. All right, so inside of here, like, I want to piece together projects like this, and I want you to be able to walk around and find them. But then some of them are way bigger than this. They need space behind them. Do you know what I mean? You've got to start to put together all those pieces because you don't want to end up with like, oh, I don't know where the next thing's going to go. I also think I want a bit of like depth and height in here, and I've just been digging out the space and looking around and trying to get like a picture in the mind's eye. It's been quite difficult to do because when I first put this space together, these pillars felt really cool. But then I only built about like 5 or 6 of them, you know? And now that they're on a much larger scale, they start to feel like they cut off sight lines. Is any of this making sense, chat? Like, do you see what's in front of me? How I've got to navigate, trying to pull together a lot of big projects in this area and then give myself a space to navigate it in. If you were a sandpaper, what grit would it be? Oh my goodness me. Yeah. I kind of like the way this bit here is open. And maybe if I stuck to like just having a corridor like this around the outside, which means I might rip out some of this bit here so you have like a bigger space to look into where these pillars aren't. And then finding a way to make it like a upstairs, downstairs kind of thing. X, for the pillars, you should try a stair block at the bottom with walls going upwards. Give a wide base but narrower column. I know what you're on about. What wall block? I don't think there's a wall block that really fits spruce, though. Can I send my philosophical question again? I don't want to spam, but I want to hear people's thoughts. Yeah, go for it, dude. Go for it. You have my perms, yo. Pax mods? Yeah, kind of not as texturally subtle, though, is it? What's better, to usually be right and never think you're wrong, or to usually be wrong but be constantly growing? Well, here's the thing. Someone says the latter. Here's the thing, right? I guess it's because you framed it as like constantly growing. It's like, what if the question was to usually be right and never think you're wrong, or to usually be wrong? Actually, I feel I don't know how to frame it, but I feel like you sort of not got the exact opposites. But let's like spin that question to something practical. If you're the kind of person that walks around thinking you're right about a lot of stuff, I think it's a really good idea to be humble and to know that being human is a fallible experience. Like you can't be right at everything, and that's just kind of natural, right? That's just a part of it. Something just clicked. So I just looked over here and something clicked for a second. I want to experiment now, and ideas come to mind. Yeah, so I think what you should take away is like, it's not actually beneficial to go around thinking you're right all the time. It's much better to be more level-headed about what your strengths and weaknesses are. You want to be confident that you're right, when... Obviously, it helps when you are in fact right. But like based on your experience and your skill and your knowledge, like you don't want it to come from a place of arrogance or self-importance. You want it to come from some sort of like grounded truth, right? Otherwise, yeah, it's not going to look so pretty. Like you'll be... do you know, I don't think my brain can... I'm saying weird things now. I don't think my brain can quite juggle what I'm trying to do here. Like talk philosophical and like use my mind's eye creatively at the moment. Let me tell you what I spotted. I spotted this and something about that little lip there. Like, I guess like we open into a new space and we see the sky. We have to recreate that experience on this side. I don't know whether it should go around here. Okay. So, like, you just have a corridor that's one wide that you can walk around. And when it opens up into a new space, that new space is going to involve some verticality, meaning we're either going to, like, look down into a lower area. In fact, we will look down. Every time I use the mind's eye, it's always a downwards thing. I think that means that there'll be some sort of, like, barrier block here. And then you look down into that space. Maybe we can just kind of keep it to exactly where it is. And, like, have this foyer area here. But then there's so many pillars, they kind of don't do much. They kind of... I feel like they're asking me to rip some of them out and put some other things in their place. And maybe what we actually need is a bigger experience that's, like, open in the middle. Yeah, so I think it might just be here that you want to do that. Which means I rip out that one little section there. That's okay. But yeah, you arrive here and it's a bit more of a junction. Now on this side, this will be like some framing for something. In fact, I think I even sketched out an idea in my creative world where there's something here. So probably going to be like another display case type thing. We'll go ahead and just put those blocks in to remind us of that. The second one was going to lead into a shop, or I say a shop, actually a game experience. Might change out the blocks on this. Is that how I did it on that side? Yeah, just one deep. So we'll put in another one of these here. Are you personally more of a column, a pillar, or a post? Oh my god, we're not going to stop on these jokes now, are we? We're not going to stop on them. So that one's like an opening, which maybe says just put another window the other side of it, right? That feels quite sensible now. So another one of those there. That's actually okay. That gives me quite a bit of space to put the project I wanted to put there behind it. This also doesn't have the biggest amount of area, so I don't feel like I'm closing anything off for future expansion. Because that's the other problem here. It's like I'm trying to think quite far ahead. There's lots of projects that are really big to be built. So let's say we go with that. That's pretty nice. Then this 2 wide corridor here, if we imagine that that space in the middle is going to open up, which means that we'll do away with some of these pillars that I've already put in, so we can see that a little bit more. Which Xisuma am I? I am like the calmed down near the end of the day Xisuma at the moment. That's the one I am. I've done all my musical getting amped up stuff for the day. It's kind of time just to chill. This music sounds a lot like it's N64 GoldenEye. Similar vibes, my dude. Plus, you know, it's VGM. So do these middle pillars here stay? Do they feel a little bit obnoxious, right? Also, one of the things I did in my test world is I built them going across and put some posters on them, which kind of works, but I think it works better when there's not something the other side of it. But yeah, I like opening up that space there. I feel like this 2 wide corridor is good because we've got a 2 wide entrance, but I could, in theory, make it so it's 1 walkway around the outside and the dip into the middle starts here. But my gut kind of tells me it will be better over there. Plus, you don't want to end up doing everything symmetrical all the time. I feel like you drag yourself into making future decisions because you decided to do something a particular way in one place, you know? Xisuma Prime. I'm Xisuma Prime, am I? Let's investigate a few more ideas. Maybe start to figure this out. Yeah, so if I want to keep this thing kind of looking the same, I can do that. Not the nicest of looks, but then somewhere there'll be like that walkway down. And I feel like it probably has to start like here, maybe, like that. And I could possibly rip this pillar out that's in the middle and have it go down. So then that would leave us with this beam across as well. I keep asking a lot of questions and not actually, like, keeping up with chat. That's very typical of me. I look over now and I'm like, people are answering, but I forget specifically. Blooming says remove the middle ones. I'm going to guess we're talking about back over there at the beginning. I think you're probably right. Now, the way that restricts the view a little bit is interesting, but I think once we put the ceiling in and there's like this lower down space, I think that'll end up making like quite a bit of sense. So let's see how much further down we want to go. Gonna, you know what, I had put these down over here without really thinking about where they were. Very typical. Very typical way to do stuff. So maybe these ones together, side by side. Decoration is very important, says Clemmy. It is really. We're building the whole vibe of the area, so like me thinking this through may seem a little like I'm overthinking it, but I think that's important. There's different types of projects in this game. There's definitely ones that you can overthink. It feels very narrow just to walk down like this. I was thinking about how malls are designed. And maybe getting, you know, like the escalators in the middle that go up and down, like crisscross. I was wondering about putting something like that in somewhere and having like an upstairs area. But then if you make it really in the middle and visible, it really helps sell that vibe. I could still go with that, potentially. I don't like this here, though. So far, just having some steps down like that seems to be okay. But then when we rip open this space, I'm not sure that the vibe will be right. Like the floor would come down to this level here, right? And guess what? Chest monster, I need a shovel. You like how it's got corridors? You think upstairs would look really good? Thanks. Who else thinks having both upstairs and downstairs would look good? I think it would give the whole area more like dimensionality and more flow and... I think if we sell people on that vibe that it's like a mall, that's something familiar you can kind of anchor to. Yo, on the Fritz, gifting a sub to Wasabi the Weirdo. Thank you for gifting a sub, my dude. Wasabi's in chat there saying goodbye. I wish I could play the animation, but I can't. Thanks for gifting a sub, my dude. Speaking of wasabi, I brought a packet of wasabi peas when I was in the Japan Center in London, and they are scrumptious. Love them. When I was abroad, I was a little hesitant to like buy snacks and treats at first when I was in Japan, and I saw this one that I really like the look of, which was cheesy wasabi peas, and I was like, ooh. And then I never saw them again. But like I hesitated because we're actually in a rush now to think about it to like leave this shop, and I never found them again. I can't remember if that was early in the trip or late. I loved that trip so much. That was such a beautiful holiday. Going to Japan. Really want to go back there again. Cuisine was just incredible out there. Yo, Blackthorn, thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate it, my dude. I already like how it feels standing at this level looking up. If I go one block lower, That also works. I feel like either or really there. So maybe we come at this with like a promenade. We'll call this. Oh god, man! I gotta build like a little Odo statue or something. This is the promenade. Then we'll have like a big open foyer area, and in the middle of it. Now this is where my idea for having like upper and lower goes away a little bit, because I was thinking about doing it over here and having a staircase, like a big one down to a basement, and then a big one up. If we're partially lowered here, I'm not sure how we sort of sell the up and down visually. Maybe you come in at the other side and you can see stairs going up and then down. But then this lowered bit might like complicate that a little. I'm not sure. You think just 2 blocks down looks good and do a square in the center with a fountain or a statue. Great idea. Great idea. It gives us an opportunity to put something very musical in the middle. Maybe another note or a clef or something. Like, I was also wondering about doing a bunch of like. So part of what I wanted to do is maybe teach a little bit of music theory through the videos, but I feel like I don't have a grasp on it enough to make it really effective. Plus, I think you'd have to really like structure a lot of stuff to do that. So I'm going at the moment, I'm going more of in a just do one little project at a time direction, but a thought crossed my mind that we could get Hoffen, or I could do it myself because I've learned how to do some of this stuff, but to create things like clefs, treble clefs, and the different notes that appear on a staff, or a staff, I'm not sure the way you say it. But we could have an opportunity to litter this area with little things like that. So you could come in here and learn about various symbols and stuff. Because like, who in chat would look at a lead sheet and understand what they're looking at? Like, what kind of level of comprehension do you have? Because I self-taught how to read sheet music. And then when I've learned it properly through theory, it's like, this is so easy because I'd already figured it out. But it was really intuitive for me to learn. Like, I just kind of understood, you know, left to right and how the notes tell you tempo and stuff. Not tempo, you know, the space between them, how long they last, something like that. Luna Cupcake and Canassus, double raid. We got 2 raids coming in. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. We're talking music. Oh my god, I just dropped something because I'm idling with my hand. Let's put that down. Keyboard and mouse. We're like very slowly just trying to figure out how we're gonna make this space here work, because it's gonna be like a mega project and it's really difficult to like plan so far ahead when you've got big projects that take up a big amount of space. I think what we're doing here is going in the right direction. We're going to plan out a big area so that those big projects have a space to be around that area. Now we're starting to talk a little bit about what we're going to put in this area. And I'm thinking models of musical notation and things that you would see on the staff. I really wanted to make a mini game that related to reading music on a staff, but I knew I would definitely have to use models, and I couldn't quite find something that made sense. Like, you'd probably end up doing a lot of like armor stand block swapping, you know, like rotating through armor stands, and it kind of felt like it would get a little bit hacky and very reliant on the models. So I kind of gave up on that, but you know, as we get through the projects in the season, I might return to that idea. I might just return to it. See, this feels like a nice big space, but I think it needs to be even bigger than this. This background music is reminding you of the original Command & Conquer soundtrack. Well, you'll be happy to know it's the Red Alert 2 soundtrack. Yeah. Any thoughts, people? Like, any input is welcome. Just, I'm explaining the ideas. I'm trying to stir up the mind's eye for myself. I definitely think this section here is probably on the out, right? Like, I enjoyed putting these blocks down, but now I think they are no longer relevant. I think that's the way it's going to be there. Am I accumulating tons of stone again? It's getting late. You got to go enjoy the rest of the stream. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. You go do you, and whatever you got to do. Escalator with black stone and glass panels will look cool. Yeah, like the crisscross elevator, right? So I picture that we have this walkway go around 360. So then maybe on the opposite side, you just kind of shimmy it together a bit. Like, we'll use these blocks as markers, maybe. Like, can you imagine? Let's build it on the wall over here, actually. So, like, maybe this needs to be even a little bit bigger. I need to kind of figure out where the middle is. You like the floor pattern? It's very simple. It's just a checker pattern, but I'm glad you like it. Right, so we got this big old thing. Yeah, I think, by the way, I think I'm very happy with this just being slightly shallow and not too deep. So we'll roll with that. Where is the middle, roughly? Like, we've got 1, 2 here. That makes me think I'm going to need to push it further in that direction. So this is the way down. Then maybe 2 and 2. I don't know. We'll get it kind of square. But let's say this is the middle. So we go across. We want to see staircases going up and down. So, like, up is going to be, like, really high up there. And it's going to do that. And then it's going to be mirrored on the opposite side. But probably with space, because you don't want them just meeting there. So they're probably going to actually be, like, a fair bit wider. Like, out here somewhere. That is like 1 block over. I'd probably have it a little tighter than that, but anyway, you get the idea. So you want to visually see the floor going up like that on either side. When it's closer to this edge, it kind of makes me feel like you could just go off the edge and go up, and it's not connected to this. Then we might want that in the middle on the opposite. But then you need the downwards bit underneath. Now, I was thinking crisscross. But the thing is, you want to go from that height down. You don't really see it, do you? I think what I'm thinking of is the crisscross is between the floor above and the floor below. It's like one way up and the other way is down. So what we're looking at is that, except the next one is like in front of it going this way, right? And that's only to go up 1 floor. In my mind, I was thinking we would see more of this. I'm not sure that's the way to do it. I'm not sure that's the way to do it at all. Another way is like you can see, you come around the corner, you can see that part of the open area, and then you see the staircase go up. So it's like you just use 1 staircase to go up and down, right? How do you see the staircase go down? It's not quite as visual. You see a little bit of it because we're in the lower space, right? So like the escalators in Primark. Pretty much, Bashy. That was what I was thinking. Clemmy says, I see what you mean. Hopefully I'm doing a good job of explaining it, because what I want is for the players to come in and see that sense of like above and below. I think seeing stairs go up is easy. Seeing them down is going to be a little trickier. We want to sell them on the sense of like there's multiple floors here. But, you know, maybe just going up is enough, and maybe we don't... I don't think I'm actually going to need 3 different floors. But, you know. Either way, doing this has highlighted a couple of things to me. I think I don't want this to be a square, but I do like the idea of this going out an extra ways this way. I think I'm going to start using some torches where the crying obsidian is. So it's always 5 between a pillar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then those 2 blocks are the crying obsidian. So that means that we would sort of tear out this little bottom bit that's deeper out to over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to go back another 5 blocks as well. Right, let's get some of this filled in. For now. Pickaxe is getting low. Yeah, it is. It is. Don't worry about it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it goes deep as that. All the way across, I think. Would it be one more after that? One, 2, 3. Is that what I wanted? Just 3? I might go for 4. But I'll continue to dig out the space and then I'll figure out what I want. But yeah, I do think that's probably the way we're going to end up going. Having this big open middle area and then maybe filling it with some models. I think I'm going to have to speak to Hoffman about that. Or as I said earlier, I could probably maybe do it myself. Depends how much time I have as well for this stuff. But yeah, there you go. Really big area. This soundtrack is so OG. It really is. It's awesome. Still to this day, I'm listening to it. Rose, 1983, thank you for 3 months of support. Greatly appreciated, Rose. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. You can make there a bigger-ish hole where the stairs go down so you can see the lower floors a bit. I know what you mean, Wasabi. Like there's an opening or there's like a ledge that's an overhang. It's not a bad idea, but I just feel like if it's not clicking as I build this area up, I think I'll be happy with just 1 floor above because I can easily show that, right? I can make it really clear, look, there's a floor above here. And that won't be much of a problem at all. Hey, I think what I'm going to do is throw some stuff on the floor to despawn. And I'm going to turn off my bone meal farm because that's been running for so long and absolutely pumping out the bone meal. Bit of a shame about the design though. Like, because now it backs up top and I didn't really think about that. Maybe I should have stuck with the minecart picking up the items from the get-go. Is there... Actually, well, not sure that... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't rails stop... I could actually put rails in there and stop that pushing the water back. The only thing then would be is that we would probably mix up the pale moss on one side and the other moss on the other. By the way, Mythical Sausage, so thank you so much for the raid. Welcome all the raiders. You know what? I could actually do that. Just have a minecart on either side going back and forth. Then it would distribute this excess stuff across there. But then it would also probably quite often pick up stuff from the other side. I don't think there's any tricks there. I don't think there's any clever things we could do past that. It's a question of, do I want them getting muddled up a bit here? I think the answer is I don't care, because we'll end up with a massive supply of bone meal, and these things will just naturally back up. Like, they'll eventually turn into a stack of whatever's there. I think I might do that. I'm going to make a note. Because I've got a note already about the bone meal farm. Okay. My god, we've got so much stuff done today. It's awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, they will no longer be chunk loaded now. Because I've actually logged in and out a lot. And it survives that. The issue is every now and then, it's a bit rare, but something will cause it to make cobblestone, which is unfortunate. I think if I made it run slower, it probably wouldn't, but chances are you're probably catching like that one tick when it loads and unloads, so you'll never be able to really miss it. Why not store bone meal as blocks? I didn't add in any crafters there, but the reason is because it uses bone meal. The farm uses bone meal. It can't use bone meal blocks. So then you'd have to design a lot of complicated redstone to keep a stock of bone meal and the blocks. But here's the thing, like, when I designed that farm, the concept was keep it inside of a chunk. And then I decided to go, oh, let's put them back to back. And then I restricted the amount of space that I could do technical stuff with the storage. So, like, managing the flow of items coming out of a farm like that, when you have to recycle some back in, you want to get moss out of it, you want to get bone meal, like, you can do all of that with redstone. I just haven't particularly given myself the space to do that. So the challenge for that farm became, how do I get something usable into that small space, which is why we've ended up with a system that's a little odd. But yeah, you can always just rip it out and do another one again, or, you know, make it different. Run the bone meal that's been created to the dispensers and the excess to the blocks. Well, I'm kind of already doing that, right? It's just that I haven't put a crafter in. The problem is, if I put the crafter in, it's just like, let's use some free cam real quick. Like, just think it through a little bit more, right? You can, but you just got to do a ton of re-engineering here. Not really, like I said, like, I could technically just take one on the end and turn it into blocks, right? I could put them all into a chain, feeding around to the end. With a crafter. And then... maybe that's not so... Actually, now you got me looking at it different. So, where do we pick up the... Right, we pick up the items here. What I could actually do is have these rails come into the middle. Huh. And then we start to get in the way of other stuff. And we'll have to redesign that. But let's just focus for a second. These hoppers, I guess they could come this direction. They could feed into a crafter that's only going to activate if the bone meal is backed up. So we detect when we have a stock of bone meal, right? And in that way, we leave some in reserve for the minecart. The only thing is, it has to be one. Yeah, it can be done. So what we would probably go for is like the second one along, right? Because we can put a comparator, or read it, sorry, across a block space. So yeah, so then you can control the crafting based on that. Okay, yeah, no, that's all possible. But the only thing is, I think you would have to take that signal from one at the back, because you need to leave a big stockpile. But yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible. Darby, my day's been good. Thanks for asking. It's possible. I'm just not sure I want to go through and like re-engineer a bunch of stuff again, because I've done that several times here. But just to reiterate, we could feed all the bone meal from each row of hoppers into a single double chest. That double chest can then be interacting with the automatic crafter. The crafter is only allowed to run when there is bone meal backed up to somewhere around the back here. And then the hopper minecart can run all the way to the back and to the front. So there's always this big stockpile of bone meal. I think I might do it. If I feel like doing a little bit of redstone, I might do that. I've decided to embrace these things a little bit more. Like, whatever idea is just tickling you, sometimes just do it. Forget the big picture, because you're always trying to, like, keep on pace with your big plans and stuff. But sometimes you got to just be in the moment a bit more and be like, hey, that's interesting me right now. So, yeah, we might come back to that. Peeps, by the way, if you did or didn't know, I make music. You might know because, well, a lot of musical stuff this stream, right? That we were talking about. I'm doing my musical projects. If you haven't seen my latest episode of Hermitcraft, we're getting musical this season. So yeah, anyway, it gives me an opportunity to promote my my stuff. 99% of you know already, but hey, there's always that one person, right? I got to do a raid. I'm struggling. My brain's like struggling to go. What's next? Let's go raid someone. I think I'll just send you over to Linksy again. Right, yeah. Go enjoy some Linksy. Again. I gotta bounce, people. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. See you. Like, we try and aim for Sunday morning, right? That shouldn't be a problem this week. I reckon I'll see you again Sunday morning. So, yeah. Hope to see you then.